welcome back to another episode of Matter of Fact. I'm Tommy here with my main man Rob, and today is a good day to be alive because there might not be too many of them left.
Facts.
All the shit going on across the world. Rob been saying it for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. So, prelude to this, I've been telling Tommy there was a lot of episodes we could have did, and they're just kind of mounting. You know, it's just getting crazier and crazier. So finally, we had to drop one.
Tell the people what's going on.
So real quick, there's like essentially most people know there's the Pacific Rim of Fire, which is where there's a lot of volcanic activity and things like that, and seismic activity as well. So, you know, weeks ago I told Tommy about something that was going on in the U.S. area. There was an earthquake in Alaska as well. That was kind of a big deal. And then last week I told him about this super earthquake that happened off of the coast of Russia. The 6th largest earthquake ever measured. So kind of a big deal. You know, 8.8 on the Richter. Big deal. And well, this here is now the aftermath of what that 8.8 earthquake did. Kind of woke up some other things. In particular, volcanoes now. Fun stuff.
So what we're about to watch is, let me just read the title to y'all. This volcano just woke up. What comes next could destroy humanity.
All the shit.
So we gonna dive into this. It's a real footage in the corner. I'm very excited. Let's get to it because we might not have too many left.
It's 2025. A volcano started waking up.
That was this month.
It's nice. August 6th.
Hold up.
And if you think that doesn't concern
Hold up. Why this nigga saying like that?
Well,
He said it like niggas gonna watch it.
You never know.
Yo.
If you didn't know.
I don't like how that started off, cause
So we're on it. If you didn't know, you're the first
shit,
to know.
shit.
Shit's going down.
Y'all seen 2012? You seen 2012 the movie?
Yeah.
Is that this?
The potential is there, essentially. So I think in this video they're going to talk about this particular one and then mention several others that are of great concern and you know what could happen if shit goes
I know
bad.
they're gonna talk about the one in Naples. You feel me? That one's nice.
Actually, no, they'll surprise you with some of the ones that they'll talk about.
Damn, we fucked then if that ain't in the top 7. You know what I'm saying?
No, these are super volcanoes.
Think again. Seismographs began to spike, the ground trembled, and a strong sulfur smell filled the air. For the first time in decades, this sleeping giant showed signs of life, and experts fear it might be the beginning of something much bigger. Because if even a single volcano can threaten an entire region, what happens when Yellowstone erupts? 640,000 years ago, the dormant Yellowstone supervolcano awoke, leading to the death of tens of thousands of living beings. And the most frightening thing is that this can happen again at any moment. When the Yellowstone supervolcano erupted for the first time, 1,200-degree lava flooded the land, destroying all life in its path. Thousands of kilometers of the territory of what is now the United States were covered with volcanic ash. Because of that, the continent didn't see the sun for many months, and earthquakes and tsunamis destroyed all life within a radius of several miles. That sounds like a fantasy apocalypse movie. Unfortunately, it's far from fiction. Scientists are afraid that the supervolcano will erupt again, and this natural disaster may well happen this year. But could we survive a catastrophe that might cover...
Nigga, hold up. What? This year?
It could.
Bro, alright. If it's on some, like, it could happen at any time shit, okay. But, like, how many, like, hundreds of years for real we got?
So that's the thing. They don't really know. And, like, so nobody could predict what just happened, right? At 8.8 scale. Now this one in Russia is active. And it not necessarily even has to be Yellowstone, which is kind of something that they're going to get to. There's some other ones that could do a lot of damage. Yellowstone would be the worst because we live in the good old US of A. But there's some, one in like North Korea, obviously this one here in Russia, you know, massive damage there. So And I even believe Antarctica has a
But we in PA, we should be straight.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. We should probably be good unless the sun is blacked out for our entire country, and
for a few months though.
A volcanic winter would be pretty bad. Well,
get canned food.
Yeah, but they'll tell you some other things that could happen too, because it gets worse.
I ain't gonna say that.
The planet.
That was the intro, nigga?
That was just Jesus.
Will we survive another
Scientists
Yellowstone?
know of only about 20 supervolcanoes similar to Yellowstone. But what is a supervolcano? Its eruption could provoke climate change on Earth and cause catastrophic consequences. One of the factors of the supervolcano explosion is the massive amount of ash. This led to many people losing their lives during one of the deadliest disasters in the history of humankind, the eruption of the Tambora supervolcano in Indonesia in 1815. The eruption itself lasted for 3 days. As a result of this natural disaster, over 70,000 people passed away. Hundreds of thousands of people subsequently died of disease and starvation. The Tambora eruption affected the entire planet. The volcano ejected 175 cubic kilometers of volcanic debris.
What?
I told you, bro.
The whole planet?
So volcanoes are the most possible destructive force on our planet. No hurricane, earthquake, anything gets a volcano.
The whole planet,
shapes
nigga?
the world. Yeah, the whole planet, because of injecting that into the air, blocking out the sun. It'll cool the earth. And again, if it blocks out the sun, there's
one volcano
photosynthesis
spit out enough ash or smoke for a year for the whole planet. What? Hell no,
dude.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
So Yellowstone's not even that bad, is what you're saying?
No, Yellowstone would be worse than that.
How this shit?
No, that
covered
was
the
in
whole...
1815. Yellowstone was hundreds of thousands of years ago when that happened.
But
So
this shit covered the whole Earth.
No, it didn't cover the whole Earth. So not with the ash necessarily, but the ash rising up as high as it does, so that's the elevation in the atmosphere that it is. And when the ash is so high, the fine particles in the atmosphere will linger in there for so long and reflect the sun's rays, which will cool the earth then and prevent sunlight from getting to the plants and things like that. So photosynthesis.
But it's not covering New York.
No,
Okay.
not the ash in this instance.
I'm like, damn, that is
it's
crazy.
the ash lingering in the atmosphere is what would be the problem in this instance.
But we got Elon Musk. He didn't figure that out.
There you go.
If it's difficult to imagine the impact, let me help you. This could bury the state of Rhode Island under almost 57 meters of ash. In Singapore, would be covered with a layer.
Nigga, that's our smallest state.
26 meters.
He's trying to fearmonger us, guys.
At a speed of 500 million kilograms per second. This mass is 180 times greater than that of the waters of Niagara. But magma is not the worst thing that Tambora threw out of its depths. The height of the ash plume, which rose after the eruption, reached almost 43.5 kilometers, even though the usual flight altitude of a Boeing doesn't even reach 10 kilometers. The winds quickly carried the ash and volcanic gases around the globe. When magma was on the surface, the substances dissolved in it, sulfur, chlorine, and fluorine, entered the atmosphere. They provoked the so-called anti-greenhouse effect, which triggered global cooling, the power and destruction from the explosion of Tambora.
Hey, the niggas on the left might like this.
Ooh, not that much.
Hey, niggas say global warming is a problem. We got a natural solution.
There you go. Well, yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, the cycles of the Earth, probably the Earth does heat up and stuff like this, but when shit like this happens, I don't know. They'll tell you to the extent that could really drop temperatures, but it could be pretty extensive, and it depends how long it lasts. It could even cause like a mini ice age type of thing.
It would be crazy if a volcano was erupting as we were speaking right now.
Well, there are volcanoes erupting as we speak.
Underwater.
And on like a lot of them, it depends. Like so, these are, most common
Movies.
No, well, obviously that, but the type of volcano, like those are the most iconic. But like in Hawaii, they don't have volcanoes like that. They're like shield volcanoes, flat, and they just ooze lava, and so they're technically erupting.
Yeah, I'm going to Guatemala next week, and I am going to hike up an erupting volcano. Y'all gonna get to see that if you go subscribe to the channel.
Maybe that one's on the vid.
Yeah,
See if
yeah.
they talk about it.
I hope not.
Get blown up.
Oh, I hope not. I hope that shit out on there. I don't think so.
Because this is one in South America.
All right, it's not Guatemala. This is like a safe thing niggas do. That
the odds are slim, of course. So
that's just erupting all the time. It's one of those pussy volcanoes.
All right.
Were equal to the explosion of 2 million atomic bombs.
Yo,
in just a few days, Tambor generated as much energy as the entire United States consumes in a year. Another supervolcano eruption that changed the...
That's good.
No, it's not.
We harvest and store that energy.
Yeah, if you could, but you can't.
Yeah,
but you can't.
We
See,
can.
Let's see what the next one is.
Yeah, we can.
They got another one.
Of humankind is Krakatoa. This
Very
catastrophe
famous one.
happened on August 26, 1883.
Getting
That's
closer.
almost 70 years after the Tambora eruption. Krakatoa is an uninhabited island in Indonesia. The captain of the German warship Elizabeth, who was passing by, noticed a cloud of smoke and dust rising into the sky. This was the beginning of an eruption that lasted over 2 months. It caused the death of 36,000 people and destroyed hundreds of coastal villages. The Krakatoa eruption created the loudest sound ever recorded. It was heard on 10% of the surface of our planet. It reached Australia and the island of Mauritius, which are 4,500 kilometers away from Krakatoa. 2/3 of the island of Krakatoa in the northern part went underwater, triggering flows of lava, pumice, and ash. But even such destruction wasn't the most terrible consequence. A truly horrible continuation of the disaster was a massive tsunami, which destroyed all life in the coastal zone of neighboring islands. When Krakatoa erupted, waves even reached the Hawaiian Islands and South America. The largest of them, 41 meters high, hit the Indonesian province.
You can surf that.
Maybe one person, but not
Yeah. Not a lot.
Buildings,
Not
dude.
a
That's
lot.
leveling buildings.
Yeah.
That's insane. 140-foot waves. So that's the thing. I mean, it's like earthquake. That's part of it too, bro. You know what I mean? It's just
It's
level.
causing earthquakes too.
It most of the time when it's doing that big of an eruption at that time, it's shaking shit. Or in that instance, it's probably because of the displacement of the island that it blew up. Is really what caused that one, but yeah. You'll see seismic activity at some level around.
All these been in Asia though. So
Yeah, there's more.
So
Banton, and it was followed by another series of waves that destroyed 165 settlements. All life and buildings on the islands were destroyed. Thousands of people from Java and Sumatra were swept into the sea. Among all the victims of Krakatoa, only 2,000 died from the eruption itself. It was the tsunami that took the lives of another 34,000 people. And a few days after the eruption, observers in Hawaii began to notice a bright afterglow after sunset. 2 months later, such reports began to arrive from Australia and Northern Europe. Scientists have concluded that this is the effect of sunlight being scattered by tiny particles of volcanic dust, which, after so many months, were still high in the atmosphere. Such a phenomenon could cause a volcanic winter on our planet. This happened after the explosion of the Toba volcano. Scientists say this natural disaster set our civilization back hundreds of years, and who knows what our achievements would be today if it weren't for before this supervolcano eruption, this catastrophe occurred 74,000 years ago
destroyed everything we had.
Volcanic winter, which, according to scientists, lasted from 6 to 10 years in general.
Bro, that shit probably happened so many times. Like niggas complaining about some shit that happened 75,000 years ago, nigga. Get over it, nigga.
But so again, that's the thing. If that happened now, that little fake city that he built, all the shit we have would probably, a lot of it would be gone, and the intelligence to build that would obviously most of it gone.
So this one volcano is stuff. Where is it? This nigga hasn't even. Where is this shit? Where is this?
Toba eruption led to a global cooling of Earth, which was felt throughout the next millennium. The populations of hominids and mammals in Asia were destroyed, and only a few sapiens in Africa managed
that was
to
bad
survive.
AI.
They developed complex social and economic
Make sure you go watch our AI
strategies
video.
that enabled humanity to repopulate Asia. The volcanic explosivity index of the Toba eruption is estimated at 8 points, and this is the highest rating on the scale. The volume of the Toba volcano eruption is genuinely impressive. This is 1,078 cubic kilometers, of which almost 306 are in the form of ashfall. It covered the Indian Ocean and the Arabian and South China Seas. Fragments of the eruption were found even in East Africa. Archaeological finds suggest that some people managed to escape the devastating effects of the supervolcano eruption. Indeed, in Daba in India, it was possible to discover tools about 74,000 years old. This suggests that small groups of hunter-gatherers still managed to escape, but their life expectancy after the disaster significantly decreased. After all, they had to survive in...
Alright. Let's see what the worst ones are.
Alright.
What's so fabulous about these is
this shit is scary. Alright, you know it is what it is, but
reality. So I think the biggest one is obviously Yellowstone.
what is this number?
The one happened in 2021. Let's see that one.
Yeah, let's see that one. Let's see this latest one that happened.
Tower eruption is considered one of the deadliest in the 21st century. But unlike its parent, this volcano didn't disappear after the eruption, but decreased 3 times. And in 2021, the underwater volcano Hunga Tonga Hunga Hampai erupted. Locals felt the tremors and saw the boulders inflating several meters high months before the eruption. And sulfur was strongly felt in the air a few days before the volcanic explosion. When the volcano exploded in the Pacific Ocean, a column of smoke over 56 kilometers high rose into the sky and reached the mesosphere. The explosion was so intense that it was even heard in Alaska, and its power was hundreds of times greater than the explosion of the atomic bomb in Hiroshima. According to UN estimates, 80% of the inhabitants of the islands located nearby felt the effects of the eruption on themselves. Nuku'alofa, the capital of Tonga, was hit by a wave more than a meter high. Residents of the city fled to the hills and rooftops, but some were injured by huge boulders from the Earth's interior, falling from a height of 40 kilometers. That's how high the explosion lifted them in the air. The eruption also caused 590,000 lightning strikes. Still, Yellowstone remains the main supervolcano threatening our planet. And recently, it reminded of itself again, as if hinting it's ready to explode at any moment. One of the most famous geysers in Yellowstone, Steamboat, has completely changed the nature of its eruption. Now, scientists are closely monitoring the rock around it. After all, it could begin to swell several meters up within a radius of several meters from the geyser. When they spot such changes, they'll have to act quickly. After all, this would mean the volcano is ready to explode at any moment. And if that happens, the ground around will go several tens of meters high. The sound from the supervolcano explosion will travel across the Atlantic Ocean and be heard throughout Europe. A column of smoke that'll rise into the mesosphere will be seen from space. In an hour after the Yellowstone eruption, within a radius of 100 kilometers, there'll be nothing left alive. Some people will die from the shockwave of the explosion, while some will suffocate in a cloud of asphyxiating gases. Then volcanic ash will spread throughout the United States of America. The cloud from...
So let's see how far the cloud
It's
goes.
good.
How far is the cloud?
It's good that we in PA.
Yeah, no, let me see where the cloud is. Is it good as?
Eruption will cover half of the country. Volcanic...
We good.
We good.
Yeah,
We good.
we good.
So we're good over here in PA, but all the West Coast ain't the best coast.
Yeah, I got family.
Yeah. So
A lot of these were in Asia.
but this
The
we
worst
got the
one is
biggest-
here. Yeah,
we
the
got
worst
the
one is
biggest
here.
one.
Hopefully it doesn't go off for another couple years. You know, let's see what this. Let's see if he gets that.
And snow, and the roofs of houses will begin to collapse under that tremendous weight. Ashes will clog all filters and motors in sewage treatment plants, cars, and airplanes. The skies over America will be closed. All flights will be canceled.
Well,
Intense
duh.
lightning discharges will accumulate in the ash clouds, provoking forest fires. Earth will be covered with rains of poisonous volcanic ash containing mercury, sulfur, and arsenic. Damp ash will collect on the wires of the power grid and cut them off. We'll be left without light and communication. But believe me, that's not the worst part yet. Volcanic ash will flow into the rivers, contaminating the water in them. The eruption will provoke mud flows that sweep away everything: plants, animals, people, and houses. Nuclear power plants will be shut down as their cooling systems are powered by water inflow from rivers. Looting will begin. Hospitals will close one by one. According to rough estimates, 500,000 people will die in the volcanic impact zone. A week after the eruption, Yellowstone will spew ash columns up to 1,500 kilometers away, and this deadly cloud will continue to kill people. After all, volcanic ash is rocks ground into dust. Each particle of such ash has pointed edges, and if it enters the lungs, it'll either destroy them from the inside or cement them. Domestic and wild animals will also die, and crops will be destroyed. We'll face the worst famine in human history. Denver and
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty bad.
This nigga exaggerating a little bit.
No, I don't think he is though. To be honest with you, like I said, like if one of these super volcanoes, it happened before and it was an
Exactly. Them niggas was the worst
level,
ones.
Event.
They had real famine.
And that can happen again. It just doesn't happen very often. But when it does happen, it's probably gonna set us back a long time.
What do you think is going to happen?
That's a good question. I don't know. How about this? Do you think it happens in your lifetime?
Hopefully not.
Well, obviously that, but based on we got some shit.
I don't know, because we just watched a biased ass fear mongering ass
you're
nigga.
scared. You think
No, I'm not scared. It might happen, but I'd like to talk to or see what some scientists say, like what the range. Like, of course it's due to happen, but is it due to happen in another 5,000-10,000 years, or is it due to happen in the next 150 type years? Like, that's a big difference. If it's due to happen in the next 10,000 years, nigga, we're good.
Yeah, but like if you ask like a scientist that, and they say within the next 10,000 years, to them 10,000 years would be very, very small slice. So that would be a high probability because they're looking at like billions of years. Probably that's what they're compared to. It's the age of the Earth.
That's fine.
So according to the age of the Earth, 10,000 years of 4 billion. It's pretty.
Listen, if it's within the next 10,000 years, we're fine, bro. Probability that in my 75. Hopefully, like, if I get that lucky, more years of life I got, I'm thinking, like, I'm good. I'll be good, bro. I'll be on my way out. I don't think it happened in the next 50 years.
Yeah, no, I
I'll be on my way out.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think though that the odds of there's a couple ways things can really go bad. I don't think that one happens here in the United States, but I think that something will happen where it like definitely fucks up some country in some way in catastrophic.
Yeah, probably.
I think that'll happen in the next 15 to 20 years. Some way, something bad's gonna happen. You know, could be.
Damn.
We'll watch it. I think we'll make another video. Catastrophic earthquake in China, Three Gorge Dam lets out. That would destroy multiple cities in China. Crazy story. Catch us on the next one. We'll find an episode on that.
This is Matter of Fact, signing out. Peace.